Heyo! Welcome to Minecraft. My name is Aerington, and this is our 4th test episode. I'm sorry, excuse me? Can I help you? What are you doing here? This is my intro. So with that revelation, I want to go ahead and welcome you to our 4th test episode, The Sacred Shrine. Lately I've been working on consistency here for the Aerington Games channel. My goal is to be putting out a new episode every Saturday and a short skin creation time-lapse every Wednesday. Now this isn't a promise so much as a goal, but it is definitely looking attainable at this point. I'm so excited to be able to not only bring new content on a weekly basis, but also to grow from week to week as I learn more and more. So for this episode, we will be working in the jungle. I thought it the most fitting setting for our builds as it's the home of both pandas and bamboo. Plus, I'm hoping to use a lot of red in this episode, which I think will pop against the vibrant colors of the jungle. The plan is to start with a shrine or temple here on the edge of the lake and build the rest of our Asian-inspired village here in the surrounding area. Alright, so as we get started with the time-lapse, I want to note that with each week I seem to be straying further from my comfort zone. I've only built in this Asian style once before, and while I absolutely love how it turned out, I feel like this one does not really come easy to me. I struggle to get this shrine to turn out exactly how I wanted it. I really love the idea of using dark prismarine or even the new warped wood for the roof. But after testing the waters with them, I really just didn't like the look of it on my build. I don't know if it's just got something to do with that initial skepticism, like when you first start adding texture to builds or using green carpet to hide lights and grass, but I don't know, I just can't bring myself to commit. I kind of got to a point with this one where I was happier with the second story and the way the balcony looked, and then eventually worked my way back down to the first floor. I found it kind of difficult working with the different concrete powders in this build. I love the colors they add and how they work with the dark oak, but they don't blend well with many other reds or whites, just due to the shade and texture. I tried to combat that by adding a lot of overlapping details to take away from the lack of texturing. From here I went ahead and filled out the back of the shrine. Typically I like to have the time-lapse footage swing around to every side of the build, but with the dense jungle so close, I decided to keep the camera to the front. Lastly, I worked on my usual final step of detailing the build. I tried texturing the concrete powder, but didn't end up liking the way it looked. I then added in some spruce accents on the roofs, lanterns, and some banners around the second story balcony. Alright, so with the time-lapse done here, I'll go ahead and give you the tour. Since finishing the build, I went ahead and finished up the interiors as well as added in several details around the lake. I added some seagrass, lily pads, and some sea cucumbers to give this lake the glow. This area is really beginning to look its best at night. It really comes to life. Moving forward, we have some lanterns along the boardwalk on these posts, and then up ahead are my attempts at statues. I built the first on the inside and then replicated them again out here. I didn't have a clear direction when I started, but I feel like they ended up looking most like frogs, which I really committed to, and made a lot of sense with the beautiful lake we've built on. I added in some jungle trees and different foliage around the shrine to just really make it blend into the area and give that feel that it's just always been here. Entering the temple, we've got the first statue of the frog. Statues aren't really my strongest build style, but I'm fairly happy with how these turned out. Around the edges, I added in a water feature, again just really committing to the idea of this being a temple to honor the frogs. Along the walls, I added some green floor-to-ceiling banners. And over here we have the 4 tomes dedicated to the frog. the wisdom of the frog, a place where weary travelers can come find peace in learning. I wasn't able to find a clean way up to the second story without obstructing the main floor, so instead I added these long hanging lanterns. I really love this new aesthetic. I can't get enough of the lanterns. We'll head back out to the main doors and around the back of the building. There wasn't much added back here, but I do just want to show off the extension of the detail in the lake that really makes it feel like this temple's always been hidden here among the trees, right on the shore of this beautiful lake we have. I wanted you to be able to look at the area and just imagine all the frogs hidden along the edge of the water. We'll go ahead and skip some time here. I've extended out the boardwalk to the left and right, as well as added in some tropical fish. I'm thinking they add some life to the area and will be perfect as the koi in our pond or lake. Over here is our first spot. We're going to build a wide one-story home here. And traveling back across the boardwalk to our right, I'll show you the next area I have ready. This path will lead to a personal home, and therefore the boardwalk is in a little disrepair. This section here is sunk and disconnected altogether. So then, here hidden back in the jungle a little bit more is going to be a much smaller house built on a square base. And so with that, we'll go ahead and get started on the builds. So I want to apologize if I'm getting too time-lapse heavy. I've been getting a little carried away with my building and just getting lost in these worlds we're creating together. But with those 3 builds done, we'll give one last final tour of the area. Beginning here, we have what I like to think of as the world start zone. I get a major Ty the Tasmanian Tiger or Crash Bandicoot vibe here, as if the world would just spit you out through a portal and right onto this platform. I did some work cleaning up the trees and dirt in this transitional area to make room for the clutter I wanted to add. Again, building off this video game feel of different base camp items lining the entrance to Lake Amphibia. I wanted this archway to sort of frame the temple upon entrance. We'll walk over to our left first and check out the farmer's hut. You should notice the roof looks very different from what I had sketched out for this building. I attempted the style several times, but I couldn't get it to look right on this small build to the point that I scrapped the whole building and started a fresh time lapse. Walking up to the hut, you'll notice off to our right we've got a small fishing pier off of the lake. And inside we have the makings of a humble home. Some bookshelves, a small kitchen, fish being prepared for dinner. And out back we have a small wheat crop being grown and tended to. Heading back over the boardwalk, we have the home of the baker. Inside we have a larger kitchen area, furnaces for baking, wheat for bread, dried kelp, and plenty of little areas for storage. I hid lighting under the rug here, and again out front behind these trapdoors. I also added in a bell that can be rung when dinner has been prepared. And with that, we'll close on test episode 4. What are you doing back again? As I was saying, the sacred shrine. If you like this episode, be sure to leave a like. If you want to suggest any ideas or improvements, make sure you leave a comment below. And if you want to join me as I continue to grow as a content creator, then be sure to hit that subscribe bell and be notified of any new content. Hope to see you in the next episode.